We got the family loaded up in the $50,000 2023 Mitsubishi Outlander Plug-in Hybrid. Is this the ultimate efficient three-row crossover for families? Today we'll find out. Now this hood is super easy to lift up. It has a latch right in the front, but if the car is running, it's gonna beep at you this whole time. We got kids in there, it's hot out, we gotta keep the AC running, so we're gonna have to deal with the beeps. Underneath the hood, we have a 2.4 liter four-cylinder. Where's this go? Right there. Made it to 2 electric motors. Total horsepower is just shy of 250 and it has over 300 pound-feet of torque. I'll play 0 to 60 for you right now. There's 60. 0 to 60 in 8.73. We'll flip the rotary dial into power mode here and go. Definitely a more EV juice right off the bat there. It feels quicker, a lot quicker. 0 to 60 in 6.96. So it broke 7 seconds there in that power mode. And at 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 7.45. We're gonna try to do 0 to 60 in full electric mode here, but the gas engine does turn on if you do pedal down all the way, so you gotta be very careful and try to get the needle right at the top before it crosses over. Luckily the gas engine is not kicked on. There's 60. And then if you push it just a little bit more with that gas pedal, the gasoline engine fires on. 0 to 60 there in 12.87 seconds. So like double the time to 60 compared to in power mode. But the big improvement is the battery. We have a 20 kilowatt hour battery here that gives us, in my testing, over 50 miles of electric range alone. Mitsubishi only quotes it at around 38, somewhere around there of electric range, and that wasn't exactly babying it. We had kids in there, we had the AC pumping, so this thing is very efficient when it comes to the battery. When it gets into hybrid mode, we'll talk about that efficiency later when we start driving it. But I can't take this beeping anymore, so let's close this big old hood. Now Mitsubishi redesigned that Outlander a couple of years ago. We reviewed the non-hybrid sometime last year. This looks identical on the outside except that plug-in hybrid badge on the side. I like the styling, I just wish this boomerang wasn't chromed out. You guys probably know chrome is not my favorite thing here on the channel. We have massive 20-inch wheels here that you get on the SE grade and above. This is the SEL Premium. This is the top of the line, like I mentioned, over $50,000. We'll get on the inside and we'll show you what all that means. Let's come around to the side. The side profile, this vehicle, even though it has 3 rows of seats, you would never guess just looking at the side, and that probably is not going to spell well once we get on the inside in terms of interior passenger room and cargo space. This is based off the Nissan Rogues platform, and it is imported from Japan. Everything about this vehicle is Japanese. I think you said 95%. Yeah. Something like that, yeah. So it is built in Japan, and the build quality from what I've noticed so far is pretty outstanding. As we come around to the back, we have an old school sticker here, not a badge, it just lets you know it has super all-wheel drive control. We have an electric motor in the front to power the front wheels and one in the back to power the rear wheels, and the gasoline engine for assistance. And then you have the SEL badge back here with the plug-in hybrid. But other than that, really, it looks just like any other Outlander that has a CVT and 181 horsepower four-cylinder in it. All right, we got the third row of seats up, and it is one bench seat. You can't individually fold down these seats back here. So that kind of limits the usability compared to the non-plug-in hybrid. For example, like that bench seat in the second row is just really tight, as you guys will find out. And then when you have this whole seat put up, you just don't have a lot of cargo capacity in here. You have a Bose subwoofer on this side, and then on this side you have a little plug-in for AC power adapter. Now underneath here we have a fix-a-flat kit, but no spare tire here on this family 3-row crossover. Now getting into the seats here, as you can see, this is pushed not all the way forward, but it needs to be this far forward to fit the kids in the back. Now you can see just how close our little 2-year-old's feet are to the seat, but she does have some compartments here on the top, kind of like a triple mat pocket, as well as a big one down below. She has sunshades back here to keep her out of the sun, and this quilting here on the SEL grade is quite nice. I love the leather in here, it is quite comfortable. In the back seat, the kids are pretty content. They don't have a lot of leg room. They don't have any air vents, unfortunately, and they don't have any USB ports. We do have heated side seats back here. And the only way, by the way, for the kids to get in the back is to fold down this middle seat here when we have 2 car seats in. We do have climate control option here, but it's just temperature control. It's not fan speed, but these outboard seats are heated. And then we also have USB-C and USB-A, as well as a household plug-in below that. We also have a panoramic sunroof in here, which you can get, I think, on all grades but the base grade. And then we also have these leather quilted seats here, black and orange contrast. It's kind of a Halloween theme going on. It really is no different than the top grade non-plug-in hybrid. But let's get inside here.
Or for women, it's pumpkin spice.
Pumpkin spice. We have Bose sound system on the A-pillars, memory seats, actually on both sides. Cass, if you want to pan around, she has memory seats on that side. And we also have massage functioning seats here. Cass, what are your impressions of the massage seats?
Maybe I'm jaded, but I wasn't a big fan.
Yeah,
I even turned them off because it was making me feel a little nauseous.
They fill the spec sheet for massaging seats, but they're the worst massaging seats we've ever tested by a long shot. I would have preferred to get rid of that and just give us ventilated seats. We only have heated seats in here, so that would have been an easy substitute. On the dash, we have more of that pumpkin spice, and really it does look like a pumpkin color in here. It's a nice kind of like earthy orange, I guess you could say. Stitching on the dash, and it is soft touch all around the dash. We have this pretty small screen in here. I think it's 8 inches, which is, you know, for $50,000 to have such a small screen, it's definitely not industry leading. Now we have Cassie's Apple CarPlay in here. It is wireless. She is charging her phone wirelessly, but for my Android Auto, not only does the charger not work wirelessly with my phone, but you can't use Android Auto wirelessly. You have to use it wired. A couple USB ports right here for that wired integration. Luckily, we do have a very large digital screen behind the steering wheel that gives me all the information for my efficiency, miles per kilowatt hour, miles per gallon. Like, it's a great screen, and I'm very, very happy with this aspect. There's also a button right here to cycle through your driving modes. I just keep it on EV if I have a charge, and then you can save your battery charge, or you can have the engine run in the charge mode. But EV mode is what I keep it on until I run out of the EV range. The steering wheel is okay. It is heated, and it does heat very well. And this is supposed to have lane keep assist technology, but in my limited time, I just haven't figured out the lane keep in here. So you have paddle shifters in here to customize your engine braking or EV braking. It is never one pedal driving. You also have this additional button here that adds to the braking. That makes it the most aggressive, like one pedal driving, but you still have to use a brake pedal to come to a stop. So I never use it. I just always keep it in drive or battery regen 0. That's just what I prefer for the most predictable driving. You also have this multi-terrain select wheel here and downhill assist control, and then power mode is what you guys saw early to get us the fastest 0 to 60. In terms of ergonomics in here, it is weird to get to the cup holders, and the cup holders are quite small. The cup holders in the back don't hold our kids' Yeti, for example, in the armrest area, and this portion is very, very small. So ergonomics in here, Cassie and I were talking about this, is just we feel like we're really close together, and it's like we're like sardines in here.
Yeah, it feels like a sports car, maybe, like how close you are to the driver.
Yeah, it feels super compact.
So yeah, I'm used to, like, you know, just more room, that's all.
Yeah. All right, I think it's time to start driving the plug-in hybrid Outlander. Let's go. All right, starting off the driving impressions in fully electric mode. This is the most enjoyable way to drive this car, absolutely. I wouldn't say it's whisper quiet. And you do have some noise coming in from the electric motors and the whine of things going, especially with the AC is on, you'll hear that. If you're not hearing the fans blow over. I'm not saying the fans are loud, but they do kind of help drown out the extra noises going on. Using my brake pedal here, the brakes are not the easiest to modulate. It's a lot of progression, and it probably has something to do with the immense amount of recharge that you can get here.
Oh, they want you to go.
Yeah, I'm going around them. As well as blending that in with the friction brakes. So it's not like it stops poorly. It is kind of like a ambiguous situation when you're coming to a stop. Also, that's the same for when you're driving it around turns. The initial response is pretty strong. You have a little bit of resistance, but the further you go into a turn, the lighter the steering gets, and the vehicle does handle fairly well. Maybe it's because it's pretty small for a 3-row crossover. It kind of surprised me how nimble it is, but you just don't get a lot of steering satisfaction. I'll just end it there. So best case scenario for us, I was able to get 51 to 52 miles of EV range driving around town. If you're driving on the highway, that range is definitely going to go down. Your efficiency will go down. And you can charge this on a level 2, and this SEL grade also gives you DC fast charging, but I think it's CHAdeMO charging, which is an outdated DC fast charging. They say you can charge it up from 0 to 100% somewhere around there in about 40 minutes. I'll put the exact numbers. Totally unnecessary. I wish it was maybe a CCS charger, something a little bit more modern and something that is pretty much the standard in America now, not the old CHAdeMO setup. But on a level 2, even with a mild level 2 charger, you could easily charge this up overnight. But with a level 1, it's going to take more than overnight if you're fully depleted. The electric pickup on here is quite impressive. Now, when I did the 0 to 60, that wasn't impressive, but really like 0 to 30 miles an hour is very satisfactory with these 2 electric motors pushing this thing forward. And if I get into the pedal all the way down, it will turn on the gasoline engine like I showed in the 0 to 60 as well. So if I go pedal down, nothing really happens. Like it starts accelerating, but it takes a while for the gasoline engine to spool up and provide the power necessary to maximize the full 248 horsepower. So it is not very responsive out on once you're up to speed, but from a stop it's very responsive. And it kind of reminds me, not exactly, but it reminds me a lot of Honda's hybrids. Is that, you know, around town they drive great torque, very quiet, but out on the highway with the engine, and the engine can power the wheels directly only at highway speeds from my understanding, but when you put that pedal down, it just, you're waiting around for anything to happen. If I take it out in EV mode and just put it into save, which is going to think that the battery pack is like depleted, I'm going to go pedal down. It's still not very responsive in the keep mode with the gasoline engine running all the time. So it really doesn't matter what mode you're in. You're not going to have the most acceleration or passing power in this 3-row crossover.
So you can't push the back seats down? So
you can fold them down, but not individually.
Okay, so like you can put like bicycles, like if you were just like a family with dogs and...
Oh yeah, you can fold down all 3 rows of seats.
Oh, okay.
Or sorry, you can fold the back 2 rows down. Yeah, it is customizable. It's just not set up for humans in that 3rd row. Like it's that occasional 3rd row. It's very limited.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. Now driving in town, I'm seeing around 24, 25 miles per gallon. I don't think that would be much better on the highway, to be honest. So really the bread and butter of this guy is the massive 20 kilowatt hour battery. Make sure you're plugging that in every single night to get a full charge, and you're going to be driving mostly on electric range with 50 miles of EV range. It is quite impressive. But when you have to use the gasoline engine, think of it more as a range extender. It's not very efficient, and you're really not getting much more power out of it either with the gasoline engine chipping in. Really, the elephant in the room is a Mitsubishi that costs $50,000. Now, you can get this plug-in hybrid starting around $40,000. And there are deals to be had out there. Cass, I was looking on the interwebs, and you could find in our area an SEL similar to this grade. I don't think it was a premium, but for under $40,000.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's like $5-6 grand off. Wow. I would not pay sticker price for this.
Not when you can get a deal.
Not when you can get deals right now, and I just don't think it's worth the $50,000. You know, the RAV4 Prime costs about the same if you can find one, and that's a better plug-in hybrid. It's a better vehicle. Everything in it feels much tighter and, you know, just more luxurious in terms of a build quality standpoint. And it has more room for 2 rows if you're not counting that 3rd row, which if you're buying this for a family of 4, you can make this work. I think you have plenty of space because you fold down that 3rd row and use it occasionally for, like, you know, picking kids up from soccer practice or something. But if you're using this as a 24/7 3-row like we need to with the minivan, it does not work at all. Like, it's just way too difficult for the kids to get in and out. We don't have any cargo capacity in here.
It's not practical.
It's just not practical if you need to use that 3rd row all the time. But if you can get it for $40,000, I think that is a bargain. I really enjoy the powertrain in here. Being able to not really ever pay for gas if you're driving mainly around town sounds like amazing. If you need to take those road trips, which will be very, you know, it's occasionally for most people who need to drive more than 50 miles of range. 25 miles per gallon isn't terrible. You know, you never have to worry about that. You just don't have range anxiety in here. You know, full range on a full charge and full tank of gas is over 400 miles. And then if you run out of range on a road trip, you just fill up the gas tank and you can take the level 1 with you and you can plug in maybe at the hotel or something. So range anxiety is not an issue here. It's the powertrain in here is good overall. It's just definitely not sporty. Yeah, we go to the gas station once a week in our minivan that gets 18 miles per gallon. This, we would go maybe like once a month.
That's amazing.
Maybe. Yeah. So, all right, we'll end it there. Thank you, Mitsubishi, for sending this. I've been looking forward to driving this plug-in hybrid for a long time since they updated it. It's a great plug-in hybrid. Just don't expect too much of it and try not to pay full sticker price for it either. But I got to end it there. Thank you guys. Have a great day. I'll see you guys in the comments below if you enjoyed this quick family review of the Outlander plug-in hybrid. Hit the like button. I'd appreciate that. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.